Hi and welcome back to another video of JPlay. I am Marcus and today I'm starting my playthrough of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the board game. There are several iterations or several versions of a Buffy game, including a legendary version, which unfortunately I didn't get my hands on just yet. So I'm still searching, but today I'm looking at this pearl over here. And ultimately I decided to go with a 3-player game. So of course I wanted to include Buffy Summers herself. She will be the starting player, so whenever she's taking or she's participating in playthrough, she has to be the starting player. But yeah, that's basically just a thematic thing, makes kind of sense. Then we have Willow Rosenberg and Xander Harris. In respect to the big bad, I decided to play against the Master. The game really comes with an awful lot of different, let's say, big bads which you can face. They all play a little bit differently. This is more or less the recommended first time big bad, but I still think it's challenging enough for me. I haven't played this game for quite a while, quite honestly, so let's see how things go from here. For the most part, I already finished the setup for a 3-player game. It's relatively straightforward. For each character playing, you reveal one of those event cards here. You populate the board with some baddies and townies. You don't really trigger any of the special text on these event cards. The one thing I didn't do, something I wanted to experience with you together, is to reveal the first monster of the week, and that's basically how you can win the game. You have to defeat 3 monsters of the week. For each defeated monster of the week, you will spawn a clue token. You can then research that clue token. This will then reveal the plot of the big bad, and once the third plot is out, the big bad will join us in battle. Then we have to face them, in this case the Master, and yeah, this is basically how you win the game. So let's see what the first monster of the week is. Okay, it's German, der Kindestod. The Kindestod appears at Summer's residence. Okay, bad news maybe for Buffy, but let's see about that. A character can only slay their Kindestod with their last action of the round. Looking at the item requirements, so in order to slay this monster of the week, you have to discard both of these items. So we need holy water and magic supplies. And looking at the starting stuff of Willow, she starts the game with magic supplies. And Xander, he starts the game with holy water. We should be in an okay shape to deal with that. So maybe we want them to meet, exchange some items, and then they could go after the Kindestod. Interesting. Let's place that card here. Let's bring out the very generic marker for the monster of the week. There are a lot of discussions on the Geek, basically asking for more individualized standees for these monsters of the week. And I believe I may have seen some fan-made stuff for proper standees. But yeah, for this playthrough, that's what we are going to use. And I definitely do understand the sentiment here, of course. I think that's basically it. We are now ready to go. Maybe let's have a quick look at the apocalypse track down here. So I already explained you how to win this game. So we need to defeat the monsters of the week 3 times so that the big bad will appear, and then we can fight the big bad. You can lose the game by either filling up that apocalypse track here. So basically when we're placing something here on the end space, then game over. Or if you have to take a wound and there are no townie tokens available at that point in time, because these are double-sided, so whenever you're taking a wound, you flip them to the other side and place them here. So if you can't do that, similar to games like Pandemic, then you're basically also out of luck and you have also lost the game. And yeah, again, with that being said, we should be pretty much good to go. As usual, I will explain the game as I go. Maybe before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members out there. You guys are truly amazing. Really appreciate all your support. And now let's get cracking. Buffy is participating in this playthrough, which means she will be the starting player for the first round of the game. And because there's nothing immediate that she can do right now at Summer's residence, maybe she wants to draw some more cards first just to see how things go. Or she could really start moving somewhere and taking on these baddies over here with her special action Slayage. She can move and fight, and afterwards all baddies at that location will be stunned. And this does include demons. And fighting demons is a little bit more, let's say, tricky because you need specialized weapons. You can stun a vampire with a basic fight action, but for demons you need more firepower basically. So maybe let's do that. So we are using our special token. You can use your special token for any sort of, let's say, normal ability, but in this case she wants to use her Slayage ability, so we are flipping this to the other side, showing it is used. Again, it allows her to move and fight in any order. So we are first moving in here to the Sunnydale Cemetery, then we are triggering our fight ability because she is using or carrying a wooden stake, which gives her a new fight action to dust one vampire in your location. So bye bye vampire. And afterwards, again, after the fight action, stun all baddies in your location. Nicely done, Buffy. Way to go, though this demon is no longer frightening, at least for this round. You don't have to get rid of that wooden stake. You can discard it with a discard effect, but if you're just using it basically as part of your fight action, you can hold on to this. Again, way to go, Buffy. The special token comes with a price. This means we have to resolve our very first event card of the game. So let's do that. And this is the main way how the game will fight back. So we bring out a new demon into City Hall, and a townie needs help at the bronze. So the demon goes in here, that's okay, and she's dancing at the bronze, it seems. And now we are definitely triggering the ability down here, or the special text of the event card. That's something that you don't do during setup. Replace any one townie on the game board with a demon. Okay, that is not great actually, but could kind of work for us here, because this townie is basically threatened by this vampire here. I mean, Xander could take care of this, but I think in this case, let's use it well. So we are replacing this townie, and we can choose this one here. This townie goes back to the reserve. It's not out of the game or so, but yeah, more demons means more problems. Yeah, we just brought out 2 more demons with this card here. That isn't pretty. Over to Willow. She's all alone at the magic box, so she could go for the special location action down here. Take 2 magic supplies from the item deck, then reshuffle. I think this works pretty well for her actually, because she can use those magic supplies to kill baddies everywhere on the board for each magic supply discarded. Nice. So here we are. I already reshuffled the item deck. Of course, she still needs to spend an action for that. I think we can go for the standard action here. You usually want to use those special tokens as early as possible, because you know what is coming, right? I mean, you get the idea. If that's the last thing you do, you are out of control where these baddies are appearing. So she's now carrying 3 magic supplies, and that is also the hand limit for this game. Unless you are playing Giles, I believe he can carry up to 4 items. But yeah, that was basically her turn done. We are not resolving an event card because, again, we haven't triggered or used our special token. And then last but not least, for this first turn of the game is Xander at Sunnydale High. Yes, he definitely has to face a demon and a vampire, but right now they are not really a problem. You can do all kind of stuff while these are present. The only thing that you can't do while there are any enemy tokens present is to use the special location action. So he can't take 2 tomes from the item deck, but everything else is possible because it's still early game. There is no ill effect for him to go for a surge action basically, so he's spending, or should we go for a special action actually? That is something to consider at this point in time. His special action, the coordinate, allows him to choose another character, you and that character in any order, each perform a basic action without spending an action token. So he can basically generate an additional action for anyone on the board, which is not terrible. So I think let's actually do that. So he's spending his special action token. Again, usually want to do that as early as possible. Let's start with him. with his action, he's giving his special act or his standard action to Buffy, I believe. But anyway, we are drawing 2 item cards. Okay, these are tomes. Tomes are nice because you can discard them for artifacts. That is obviously huge. And here we have the magic supplies. Okay, this opens up some opportunities, I believe. So he's definitely taking them both right now. So now he is carrying the holy water and the magic supplies, which we actually do need for our monster of the week. So we could take a swing at der Kindestod. But of course it has to be the final action of his turn basically. But I think that should be actually manageable. Nice. Let's not forget the, let's call it free action for Buffy. And because she's still carrying a wooden stake for her free action, we want her to move here to Angela's mansion. That kind of makes sense for Buffy, right? And I think with her next action, she might be able to dust that vampire here. Nicely done. We still have to resolve an event card because again, we have just triggered or used our special action. And we see a demon terrorizing Angela's mansion. Okay, that is... yeah, this wasn't planned. Then we are bringing out another vampire at the Restfield Cemetery. There are 3 okay, that is bad news for that townie over here. And keep in mind, when we are killing these townies, they go down to the apocalypse track here. Wounds you can heal usually. For these townies, normally not. So once they are here, they are there. That's really something that you want to avoid. As for the special text on this card, place this card beside the Game Boy. So this is an ongoing effect for this game round. City Hall cannot be activated this round, which we couldn't do anyway because of City Hall. Choose a townie and move it to a location. Because there is a demon, we can't use the special ability. So I think that is not terrible. Let's keep that card next here to the game board. I could still, because ultimately it's still Xander Harris's turn, so we could in fact freely discard the tomes here. And again, this says during your turn you may discard this card to draw 1 artifact without using an action. I think that's what I am going to do for Xander. Then we know what is coming. And here we have found, oh wow, the Blessed Sword. I believe this is a very cool item. Yes, exactly. Fight to slay up to 2 demons in your location. Can we work with that? So this is one of those artifacts. Normally you have to take a test in order to see if they are successful or not. Not so much for the Blessed Sword. And anytime you are wounded by a demon, but only by a demon, then we are running a test. And if you succeed, slay that demon after placing a wound token on the track. And if the monster of the week is a Kathia, you may discard this. Okay, right now we don't know which monster. I think there's really a relatively large deck of monsters of the week. So again, in respect to replayability, this game is nigh endless. Okay, cool stuff. Yeah, that's great find, Xander. Then it's back to Buffy. Again, ultimately I wanted to dust that vampire down here, but because there is now also a demon at that location, which she can't really do anything, because with a standard fight action you can't stun demons. You need weapons for that, for example, or the sword that Xander just found. I think we are spending 1 of her normal action. Yeah, let's change gears. We are moving up here to the Restfield Cemetery. Maybe there is a way later on to get rid of that vampire here and maybe also rescue the townie. That is something that you can do at the basically very last thing of the round. If you are alone or a character alone with a townie without any enemy tokens, then you can rescue them, meaning you can move them off the board, which is something you really need to do. Okay then, over to Willow. This time she is using her special token, Witchiness. Discard any number of magic supplies, 1 and 2. I think we want to hold on to 1 of those. And for each discarded, slay 1 baddie anywhere. I mean, she's really a very powerful she-witch after all. But for now, we have discarded those magic supplies. And I think, does it matter? We can kill 2 baddies, and maybe we want to get rid of demons because these are the more challenging ones, right? So we are taking care of this demon and that demon over here. Again, these are the, yeah, again, they're much more difficult to kill. For those vampires, you can stun them and whatever. So I think overall, some demon control here definitely does make sense. We used our special token, which means we are resolving the last event card for this round, I believe. Yes, 3 times the charm. So yeah, great. More demons. 1 demon at Sunnydale High. Oh, come on. That's exactly where we just removed the demon. Okay, that's frustrating. Then we have another vampire at Sunnydale Cemetery over here. And move 1 demon towards the nearest townie. And here I'm not 100% sure. I think these demons usually during their activation are moving 2 spaces. Not sure if this is now also true for basically these effects down here. Doesn't matter too much. So I think I am going to simply move this fella over here. So that is a problem. So we need to find a way to protect them. So maybe Willow has to move there actually and kill that demon. Yeah, that's definitely frightening to some extent. So this event has been resolved, but now we are more or less event free for this round because again, they are only triggering by using your special action. Let's move back to Xander. He carries the Blessed Sword, which he can get rid of demons. The problem is, I think I can't go places, then go to Summer's residence where there is the monster of the week. Keep in mind, he now has the items we need to try to slay der Kindestod. I think we are running out of options there. The question is, what else are we going to do with him? Yeah, this is really frustrating, but I think I really want to get rid of that monster of the week with him. He's now carrying these things. Maybe more, no, there can't be any more townies appearing actually. Oh, that is really frustrating. No, there is nothing we can do. We could, of course, discard things and whatnot, but then, for its normal action, we are moving him up here to the Summer's residence. We need 1 more action here, and then maybe, yeah, he has to search. You can't really pass in this game. You have to do stuff. That is underwhelming. But okay, let's take our standard fight action with Buffy. Again, she's using her wooden stake, which allows her to dust that vampire here. So for now, this townie is safe. And then it's back to Willow. And she should be able to protect this townie from the demon. I mean, you want to dance. You don't want to, whatever, mix with the demons here. So we are flipping this to have her move here to the bronze. So right now the townie is protected anyway, because as long as there is a character, the demon will then more or less inflict a wound on Willow. And again, you can heal wounds. Okay, that was Buffy, that was Willow. Back to Xander. Again, there is nothing immediate to be done. So yeah, he's simply going to search. The problem is he's already at his hand limit and he wants to keep his magic supplies. And while you are over your hand limit, you can't then discard stuff that you are drawing to take advantage of it. It makes kind of sense, right? So we are simply drawing 2 cards. Oh, weapons. Oh, this would be so nice. But yeah, he has the Blessed Sword anyway. And the second card is more holy water. Okay, this was basically a pass for him. Then it's the last action for Buffy this round. And I think she can actually draw. There's no townie in need right now. So no, she's going to draw 2 more cards. More wooden stake. Okay, maybe she wants to even more wooden stakes. Okay, I think this works out to be okay for her, because during your turn you can discard those wooden stakes. During your turn you may discard this to dust 1 vampire in your location. Okay, that's the piece I didn't see, of course. And you can do that without spending an action. Okay, there are other items like, I don't know what it is. I think the holy water, which you can, during your turn, you discard this to stun 1 vampire in any location. Exactly, but that's only stunning then. But it's still good enough, but it's okay for Buffy. And then it's Willow. She's using her optimized fight ability because she is still carrying magic supplies to slay 1 baddie in your location. By the way, baddie means any generic enemy. So that's a demon or a vampire. Never the monster of the week, never the master. So in this case, we are totally taking care of this fella over here. Nicely done, Willow. And then last but not least, it's Xander, not sure why it's him, who wants to get rid of their Kindestod. In order to do that, he's going to take a standard action, which is a fight action. When we are looking at the order down here, attempt to slay a monster of the week or big bad in your location. And yes, we are in the location. We need to discard holy water. We need to discard the magic supply. So these are out of here. Go into the discard pile, and that's a cool way. So the discard pile is directly get shuffled back at the end of the round into the item deck. So you will basically never run out of those. So now it's not an auto success. We still have to go through an event check down here. Discard items, then check to succeed. And then we are looking at either the pentagram or the eye and the pyramid. I think that's from the dollar bill or so. And it's basically 2 out of 3 chance that you are succeeding. So we are now drawing an event card. We are not triggering this event card. We are simply looking at the icon at the bottom, and it does matches. Awesome. Amazing job. Nicely done, Xander. So the Kindestod is out of here. Cool stuff. First victory of the game. We are bringing out a clue token at that location, I believe. Yeah, it goes to where the Kindestod is spawned. We still have to research that. Wow, that is great. And I think we are bringing out a new monster of the week immediately. So let's see what we get. And here we have the Gentleman. The Gentleman will appear at UC Sunnydale. Players cannot speak while the Gentlemen are in play. Any player that speaks must place a wound token on the Apocalypse track. Okay, that is relatively... no, that's tricky actually, because I do have to speak. So yeah, let's simply ignore that. And these are kind of meta rules, which I don't really like in a board game, quite honestly. I know there are, I don't know... rounds who are using these kind of things, but that's also why I didn't really enjoy Mountains of Madness, which otherwise was a very cool game, but I really didn't like all these meta rules, yeah, where you have to speak in opposites, basically meaning, and I don't know, strange things like that. Anyway, in order to fight the Gentleman, though, we need 2 weapons, which we just discarded actually with Xander. Kind of a bummer. But yeah, let's bring him out. UC Sunnydale is down here. We will keep the card nearby. And I'm really sure I'm not bringing those out at the end of the round or so. They come out immediately, which means they are already starting to wreak havoc, basically. But I think right now the townies are safe from him. Okay, nicely done. And these were all the actions for our players. Next, we are activating the monsters. We will start with the monster of the week, exactly, because there is nothing adjacent to him right now. His next priority is, I believe, to move as close as possible to a townie, and I think the closest townie is over here. I don't want to lock down the magic box, so I think we are moving him in this way over here, but at least nothing bad is happening. For all the others, again, I guess we are safe. Yeah, the demon is now moving. I think this demon should be moving up here as his first priority to go after a protected townie. There are no unprotected townies right now on the board. So I believe this demon either moves here to the bronze. 1, 2, because demons are moving 2 spaces, or this demon is moving 2 spaces here. Because this vampire will move in here anyway, we get to choose. Let's move that demon over here. Exactly. These were all the demons. This vampire will have to move in here, and similarly here, this is 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I think it doesn't really matter too much, but again, I think I want to keep the magic box free. On the other hand, no, let's move the vampire over here because we want to slay them anyway. Right, then, yeah, we have, I think, when does this happen? Does it happen now or at the end of the round? Yes, it's basically, we are now moving into the end of round step. So we are looking at the master. And right now, the only thing that he does is, at the end of each round, a vampire lurks at each location containing a clue token. That's the main reason why you want to get rid of those. So poor Xander, again, has to deal with a vampire at Summer's residence here. I think that's more or less it. We are unstunning all those baddies. Is that the only one? It seems so, actually. And because Buffy is all by herself with this townie, so no monsters here, we are rescuing that townie. Nicely done. And of course, I completely whiffed. Good that I caught this. Oh man, reading. Townies cannot be rescued in this location. This was my plan all along, but I think I couldn't have freed up this one here. After monster activation, if there are townies here, replace one with a vampire. Okay, reading. Okay, we are bringing out a new vampire after monster activation. Yeah, that was... okay, that was ultra stupid. I still think it's... no, I think it was okay, actually, because this way the townie wasn't eaten. No, I think overall this worked out to be okay. The only thing I whiffed was in respect to the rest field symmetry here. So we are discarding this event card. We will shuffle all the discarded item cards back into the item deck. And I think I will do one more round this video. Okay. Willow will be the starting player for this round, and the starting player will always move around the table. Honestly, I do prefer games where you can, or cooperative games where you can freely decide the order of things. Can lead to more discussions and ultimately making the game more thinky and maybe, let's call it easier, but yeah, it's okay. We are going in a clockwise version. I basically always play against the clock here, just simply because of table setup. So let's see, Willow, what is she going to do? She's in a very tough spot over here, but honestly, nothing immediate to worry about. So maybe she either moves over to the magic box here, getting rid of that vampire. We could move to City Hall, actually using City Hall. Now we can use it to move a townie to an adjacent bit. So we could move that townie out of rest field cemetery into the magic box, and then we could in theory rescue that townie. So that's something also worth considering, and maybe that's what I'm trying to do. But I think before I do that, I will spend her first normal action to draw 2 item cards, so we can search at that location. That is totally fine. So let's see what we get. A cross. We didn't see crosses yet. We can fight vampire in any location. No, to move one vampire. That's not terrible. That's cool, exactly. Or we can discard it during a turn. You may discard this to move one vampire in any location, 1 space without using action. Also, not terrible. But we need weapons. And these are not weapons, but we have found a tome, or some tomes. Maybe we want to discard those tomes right away. Yeah, let's do that. We definitely do want artifacts for sure. And here, oh, Glove of Minigun. Interesting one. This is one where you have to perform a fight test, basically, in order to succeed. Again, you're always 2 out of 3. You are successful. The game is fair in that regard. If you succeed, slay 1 baddie in an adjacent location, or you can stay up. Wow. Up to 3 baddies in an adjacent, but then we have to place, okay, that would be amazing because there are 3 baddies here at that location, which she could slay, but it has to be, I think in this case, we really have to be in an adjacent location, it seems. So we have to move in here, and placing 1 wound token on the Apocalypse Strike, I think that's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, that opens up some doors. I like that. Next, it's Xander, and I think he's totally using his special action for him, and he is assigning 1 action to Willow, so she can then fight with her next. Okay, that works out okay. I like that. So I think let's start with him. For his standard action, he's going for a search action, even though I'm not sure if you should research those things. The master isn't terrible. The worst thing that can happen is to know. I think we leave that thing out there. I think for his, or should he go for a fight action instead, simply to get rid? No, we are searching with him. He can carry some items. So here's 1 more crosses, and here is 2, some more holy water. Yeah, which is okay, but nothing immediate he can use. Okay, that was a little bit underwhelming, but his special coordinate allows Willow now to take a standard action, and for that, yeah, let's simply move to Sunnydale High here. Why not? Again, you can get rid of those clues early on, but you're bringing out more special powers for the mastermind, for the big bad. The worst thing right now that is happening, the master will keep on spawning vampires, but I think we have good ways dealing with vampires right now. I think that's why the master isn't the most terrible big bad out there. Anyway, we have to resolve an event because Xander was using his special token, so we are bringing out another vampire at UC Sunnydale up here, over here, and a townie. Another townie goes to the Rosedale Cemetery down here, so we can live with that. And if there are any vampires and demons sharing a location with each other, which we do have, move them to separate locations, player's choice. So there I don't want to be together. Interesting. And this was terrible. This is completely messing up with my plan. So, yeah, I think it doesn't matter too much. So we are moving this demon out here. I think they still have to follow their normal movement, so I can't beam them somewhere, right? I think that's at least the idea. Okay, then, okay. Maybe, let's do that. So we can move the vampire over here and the demon over here. No, I think that works out to be perfect, actually, because Xander can then use the... I stopped complaining. I stopped whining here. This worked out to be just okay. I think this was legal. Again, they wanted to separate. That was the idea of that card. So not too terrible. Cool stuff. Then it's Buffy. And I think, yeah, let's use her special token now to move and do stuff. So she's moving down here to UC Sunnydale. She will then use one of her 3 wooden stakes to dust that vampire. Everything would then be stunned at that location, but there is nothing to stun. I still think it was worth it. It was her special, which means we are resolving another event card, another demon at Sunnydale High, which I think is okay right now. We can live with that. And a townie goes to the Sunnydale Cemetery. These cemeteries, I really don't know where what is actually. And then we have an ongoing effect with that card. This one says, until the end of the round, vampires must be stunned, oh no, before they can be dusted this round, even by special abilities. No! Again, there goes my plan. Here is now a thing of wording. This card says we cannot dust them, even with special abilities. The problem with this game is it's using natural language. So it's using slay, dust, defeat interchangeably. So I'm relatively certain it also does apply for the glove of Minigon here, or slay up to 3 baddies in adjacent locations. I really do think this does count here. And this is where I think this is a problem. I really do appreciate that they wanted to keep the theme up using slaying and dusting and whatever. But for a board game where you want to follow rules, it's not making things easy. I mean, here it says in brackets, even by special abilities, and you can argue that this is a special ability, right? So yeah, let's simply stick to that. We are not able to dust those vampires here or slay those vampires without stunning them first. Yes, we could stun them first, and yeah, if now Buffy would have moved there, she could have stunned everyone there, but yeah, I already have taken my special action. Okay, that was really, really terrible. So here goes our plan with Willow using the glove of Minigon. Yeah, we can't. I mean, we could use the holy water of Xander, right, to dust, but stun 1 vampire. So we really need to spend an awful lot of holy water. So this really doesn't help at all. So I think in this case, she's simply using a standard action right now. Should we go for the special action at this point in time? I think I'm not going to use the magic supplies this round, so her special ability. So I think I will use her special now to go for a standard fight action. She's still carrying magic supplies, which allows her to kill that demon here. I think that's still progress. And again, you want to take those special actions as early as possible so you're able to respond to new threats that are appearing. So let's reveal the last event card for this round. We have another demon coming out at Sunnydale High, so he was only pretending to be slain. And we have another townie at Sunnydale High. No, Sunnydale Cemetery. What am I talking about? This goes here and the townie goes in here. Okay, No, these vampires will move down here. Unless, again, I'm using City Hall. Let's see. But then we still have a special action, or a special event rather, if there is currently at least one baddie sharing location with a character. Yeah. Which we have with poor Xander over here. We have to add a wound token to the apocalypse track. So we are placing our first townie, but with the wound side up onto our apocalypse track here. But overall, I think this is something we can manage. So not too terrible. Those were all the event cards for that round. Okay, then it's Xander. And I think before we do anything else with him, let's stun that vampire with a standard fight action. I think that is okay. We should be still... yeah, this is a little bit frightening. The third demon here is a problem. Unless I'm using Willow there. No, I think that is fine. Unless, or should I stop worrying about that vampire here, actually? No. Actually, let's instead have him move down here. Maybe he can get rid of all 3 demons with his next 2 actions. And again, this vampire over here isn't doing anything right now, I guess. Nope, that's fine. Over to Buffy. Originally, I thought bringing her over here to the bronze, because with her wooden stake, she can really wreak havoc amongst those vampires. The problem is we still have this card in place, so we can't... we have to stun these vampires before we can dust them. It would be really cool if those event cards would have titles, basically events from the episodes or so. What is happening here? If you really know the series well, you may are able to find a connection. I only watched the series once or so. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, what is she going to do then instead? She can't... that's the worst event card that came up here. Okay, this is terrible. We could draw 3 items here, maybe discarding our wooden stakes. But the next round, those wooden stakes will be actually helpful. We could move down here, maybe protecting... We could maybe at least get rid of that vampire. So at least doing some progress this round, right? Otherwise, it really feels very, very... Yeah, let's do that. So we are moving her over here with an action. Again, unfortunately, we can't use our wooden stakes, the discard ability, to get rid of that. Or should I simply search and hope for weapons? Would that be the better deal? Yeah, let's do that. So we are searching. We are taking 2 more items. Wooden stakes and garlic. And garlic only has a discard effect. You may discard this card to place a garlic token in your location without spending an action. The first time baddie would move into a location containing a garlic token, remove the token instead. Baddies may still spawn in that location, though. That's a problem. So I think we are definitely getting rid of 2 of our stakes. We are taking those. But I think we don't want the garlic here. If we want to do that, we want to place it onto a space with a townie, I guess. So right now, yeah, that really didn't work out. So then it's Willow, and I think we do want to use City Hall this round. So we're moving her over here. With her next action, she might be able to move a townie out. Let's see about that. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. And then it's Xander, and he's in an okay shape. He will use his Blessed Sword with the updated fight ability here. Slay up to 2 demons in your location. Bam and bam. And if he's taking a wound, we can even kill that demon here. So I think I really quite like that. Nicely done, Xander. And as for Buffy, does it help us actually to move her to... No, I think we want to move Buffy down here to the Rosedale Cemetery. And honestly, I'm not sure if I forgot the special ability of the cemetery here, if the townie was there last. Or I don't think so, because I think we only had townies up north, actually. Yeah, I think that's the case. Then it's the last action of Willow. She will use the special ability of City Hall. We can do that to move the townie over here, because I do think we should be actually quite okay rescue him. I think so. I really think I counted this through correctly. Then it's Xander again. He will use his last action to slay that demon with the Blessed Sword. He can do that up to 2 times. And if they're up unprotected townies, no, they're simply moving into the catacombs. No, I think that is also okay, actually. And I believe that's it for him. Last but not least, we do have Buffy. First of all, she is going to drop the garlic onto this space here. I mean, it doesn't really hurt us. It's not an action. Yeah, discard effects are always free. And I think then for her last action, she is going to search. So she's going to draw tomes. Okay, she could go for an artifact. And magic supplies. So let's hold on to the magic supplies and let's spend those tomes to draw an artifact for him. Rocket launcher. Now we're talking. Yeah, that's great. If you succeed, discard 1 weapons, items card, or discard this artifact to slay up to 2 baddies in your location. If the monster of the week is the judge. Yeah, makes sense. I do remember that actually. You may discard this artifact to defeat him. Okay, this does mean though we have to discard 1 card, and I think let's go for one of those wooden stakes. I think that is quite all right. Okay then, monster activation. We will start with the monster of the week. That is moving up here. I think all these vampires will actually move to Xander, but I think he should be able to manage actually. This vampire, I think will always go for an unprotected. They all go for unprotected townies first. And I think this is definitely unprotected here. This is a protected townie. I think this is pretty clearly spelled out, right? Indeed, an adjacent location with an unprotected townie. Awesome. So this is where you can game the game a little bit. And that's always something I like in a game like this. It's not too random. You can actually do meaningful stuff to make things happen. I like that. I believe those were all... Okay, that's nice actually. This worked out to be okay. They're not just killing him yet. They have to activate there first. So they're not moving and activating. They either move or they activate, so killing a townie. Then we will go into the end of round, which means the master is bringing out a new vampire here at these glue tokens. Okay, everything would be unstun, passive locations. I believe here after monster activation, if there are unprotected townies here, move it. It's protected, so the townie is not moving. Similarly up here, so this townie is well protected by Mighty Xander. We are discarding this pesky event card here, and then we are actually rescuing 2 townies. 1 and 2. Way to go, Willow and Buffy. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we need to do. Great job. And that's basically the end of round 2. Again, the starting player will now move over to Xander. They will all reactivate. I will shuffle those cards back into the item deck. But I think for today, I'm going to end my playthrough here. Again, our plan is to find weapons. I think so far we only drawn 1 weapon and we had to discard it right away. So let's see how things go for the next round to come. Definitely let me know if you spotted any more goofs. Again, I was not 100% sure about this Glove of Minigon in conjunction with that event card here, that you had to stun vampires before you could dust them. But again, the rules clearly say, even in a, let's say, some sort of an FAQ, what do dust and slay mean? And these terms both mean kill a baddie. So I'm relatively certain you can use these things interchangeably, and this also does count for the special event on that event card. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I should be doing. I really appreciate all the help I can get in this playthrough. I really do hope you are enjoying this little playthrough here. I really have a ton of fun. I like this game. It's relatively straightforward for a game like this. It plays very, very quickly, and overall I really enjoyed it. Highly thematic. I really do like it a lot actually. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and yeah, until then, bye bye.